Hello, friends, and welcome to the Great Podcast. My name is Carlos Guerra Jr., and I am your host. Today in episode 5, that's right, episode 5, we are here. We are going to have our first ever guest, Mykayla Suess. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump to the stories, and let's get it started. Cue that intro music. What's that song with the "You've Got a Friend in Me" song?
From Toy Story?
Yeah.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me.
I forget how it goes.
All I know is you've got a friend in me. I don't know.
Well, we're live, so
Hey. This is how this episode is gonna go. It's gonna be crazy.
Welcome to the 5th episode of the Great Podcast.
Number 5.
Number 5. Man, we are here.
I was born on the 5th. This is like so fitting.
I know, my son has the same birthday as you.
I know. How
Shared
crazy is
birthday.
that?
November 5th.
Fated to be.
Hey, welcome to the Great Podcast. I've talked about this 1,000 times. What this episode might look like. Well, guess what? We have no idea. We're gonna just go for it.
You know, this might not. This I don't know. This might turn out way different than we planned. No idea.
This is my wonderful guest, Mykayla Suess.
Hello.
I have talked so much about her leading up to this episode because of the fact that we are just simply so close.
Best friends.
Yeah, I
Best
mean,
best friends.
yeah, I'm marrying your sister, but
Yes, but I mean, but like aside from that, that's not really that important. So I definitely think being friends with me is high tier.
Oh
so.
yeah, absolutely. No, I can confidently say that
These chairs, I'm so scared they're gonna break.
I can confidently say that I've had plenty of friends
Mhm.
in and out of my life. And I think I said this to you like day 1 or 2 that if your sister leaves me, I still want to be your friend.
Yeah. We've had that conversation I think a couple times over the years. You're like, if anything goes wrong with Adriana, I'm gonna have to remember to call her Adriana and not Mudge.
Is it like a thing that I bring up all the time?
Yeah, every time.
I guess it's
like,
a true fear.
Literally every time we would go to Taco Bell, like it would come up at least once. Like either me like threatening to like kill you if you ever hurt her or something like that, or you'd be like, Adriana's so important to me, like I would never do anything to her. And then be like, I hope if anything were to happen, you'd still be my friend. And I'm like, drunk, very drunk, just wanting tacos from Taco Bell. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, can we get tacos now?
So speaking of which, one time I picked you up from the city. I forget what it was.
I think it was Pride in 2015.
Pride,
okay.
I was. Well, so you talked to me the day before and you said, "Hey, I'm going out.
Yeah.
Can you pick me up?" Because at the time, I don't know if you remember, I was driving Uber.
Yes,
I
yeah,
was
I do
doing
remember that.
Uber,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
part-time
because you still
because-
had the Chrysler.
Yeah, because Adriana would work night times, and the nights that she would work at like until like 3 a.m.
Right, but she was doing overnights.
Yeah, so like the weekends, some weekends that she worked, I was like, I'm not just gonna sit at home and stare at
And do
Sebastian the
nothing.
cat. So I decided, let me do Uber. So you talked to me the night before and you said, "Hey, can you pick me up?"
Because I'm going to be trashed.
Yeah, instead of me ordering Uber, I said, "Hell yeah."
Okay, yeah, why not?
So
I remember very little about this day. Very, very little. I remember my mom yelling at me to shut up about a rainbow because it had just rained. That's like all I remember. And the Taco Bell. I remember the Taco Bell and the rainbow.
I pulled into the city to pick you up from this place I've never heard of.
The Tally Ho, which is now closed.
Okay.
But it was like a very gay bar downtown.
Okay. So I picked you up there, and I was like, there was people everywhere.
Everywhere. There were police on the horse.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like. I'm sorry, Mom, but like I remember being like having to be talked down from going up to the police on the horse to like pet them because apparently that's illegal to do.
Yeah.
Which at the time I did not know, and I really wanted to just pet the horse.
Well, so I arrive, I pick you up, And as we're leaving, you like did like this freaking jab motion into my arm, like hit the hell out of me. And you go, we have to get Taco Bell. And I said, we have to. You said, yes, we have to. I was like, all right, I guess we're getting Taco Bell. So we went and got Taco Bell, and then that's when you broke down, and you were like, not like in tears, not emotional. You broke down.
That does happen a lot though when I get drunk. I do have breakdowns.
You broke down the wall, and you were like, listen, you are my friend, but you are my friend second.
Yes.
Adriana is first. She always will be first. Like, if you hurt her, I hurt you, and I'll never forget that. And mainly because beforehand we were laughing our asses off talking about like scary movies and stuff.
I just got serious.
And then out of nowhere, you were like, "Endgame! Like this is it!" Like almost got in the car, like dragged me by my neck, and like, I'm serious. Curb stop! Boom! Like
I never read that.
No, but in that moment, I was like, "Wow! Like this must mean like
Serious
obviously
business.
I know like I have a little sister myself.
Yeah.
And I know.
And now
Adriana's
she's
your
getting
sister.
married. Yeah.
So like I know that idea of like you hurt my sister,
I heard you.
and yeah, that's it. Like I'm
And
turning these hands into fists. Like
I also think because she's my baby sister, and I've always been like very protective of her. For some reason, like I know she can take care of herself, but I'm like, I will beat your ass if you even put a hair. And this is just for anybody. I'm very protective over her, even though like I think she could.
Yeah.
She is my mother's daughter.
Yeah, so before the episode, you and I were going back and forth. What song should we sing? Should we sing a song? Should we do this?
Yeah.
And then you played for me. If you hear noises, I have to say, real quick.
There's an earthquake going on upstairs.
My son's still awake. So yes, there is an earthquake. This microphone here picks up everything. So this microphone here, the main microphone, is noise canceling, and it's extremely noise canceling today.
The fact that it's not even turned on.
It's just for looks. This is the only microphone that's working right now. Welcome to the Great Podcast, where technical difficulties happen all the time.
It's all part of the fun of figuring things out.
In our mugs, we have water.
I don't.
Just
I bought this mug back for Carlos from Colorado when I went
right.
last year. Among other things that I brought back from Colorado.
All legal.
Of course, legal. I would never do anything illegal ever in my life. I'm an astounding citizen.
Oh man, this is
gonna be fun.
I've looked so forward to this episode. I can't tell you. Like
this is gonna be fun.
These are just for show as well. So
everything here is fake.
Nothing works.
This isn't a real studio. This is all a wallpaper that we will tear down after this episode is over.
This is my basement. So one of the cool things about you and I is we also work together.
Yes, we do.
So
we run a family business together. I shouldn't say run because if Tina's listening,
I know for sure I don't run.
I don't run it. I'm an assistant.
I work.
I get dirty.
But aside from the job itself, I don't want to get into the specifics of it. But you and I do work together, and like beforehand, when we were going to work together, it was like one of the ideas in my head of like, I wonder how this is going to be. How's our like dynamic going to work?
Yeah.
Working together?
Yeah.
And I can like, nothing changes.
No.
Like when you I
the only thing that I feel a little worried about sometimes is that you guys will die in there. And like that I won't be able to like pick it up. Like there'll be like this strange gas in the air that won't get picked up on the monitor. And it's like, oh, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I also can't pull you out, so sorry. Have fun. Survival of the fittest. You're on your own.
If you're wondering back at home, basically the job that we do is
industrial cleaning.
We do industrial cleaning. So there are some certain jobs that we do need to be extra safe with, and I don't want to get too much into it. But Mykayla will be at the top of wherever she's at, and I'll be down inside and things like that. And I'll tell you what right now. Beforehand, when I first went on, I was like, hey, I'm working with Mykayla. And I told her, and I was like, yeah. And she was like, what's she doing? And I said, oh, she's going to keep me safe.
She's gonna
and
keep
alive.
me alive.
And I was like, oh shit, do I really want to?
Do I really trust her?
No, but I'll tell you what. When I'm doing the job, I feel 100% safe. So
I'm doing my job right then.
So you're doing it right.
We haven't had any issues. I don't think we've ever had an incident. So that's good.
Yeah. So moving on with the podcast with this episode, basically to give you a layout of what's going to happen. I really hope that the framing has me in it.
It's just me.
No, it does. I believe so. Basically, this episode is going to have stories that we're going to tell. It's going to have
it's going to have tears.
Tears. I hope not. Maybe. Who knows?
It's going to have tears, action. We're going to have a fight scene.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to another topic is tarot cards?
Tarot, yeah.
Tarot cards.
Tarot.
Okay.
Silent T on the end.
Spelled Tarot. Can you explain what that is for people that don't know?
Yeah, so basically what tarot reading is it's like, I don't want to call it like ancient, but it's a pretty well known thing throughout like witchcraft and like metaphysical, spiritual stuff. And it's basically just reading picture cards. Okay. So they all have like specific meanings of what they can bring like into your life and stuff. And they can tell you how things are going to unfold, not necessarily what's going to happen, but how things might unfold in your life, depending on like what aspect of your life you're working on. So like, or asking about, I should say, each card has a different meaning for each aspect of your life. So the same card won't mean the same thing in every regard to your life. So you could be asking a question about like your finances and your career, and it'll mean something completely different than what that card means for like love or like health and vitality and stuff like that. So it's basically just it's interpretations of pictures that tell the future, even though I think that they're more guides than they necessarily are like solid fate. Do you know what I mean?
I do. So you did a reading for me on your birthday a couple years ago.
I'm at a birthday party. A lot of people cried.
Yeah, and I remember when you did your reading for me, one of them was redemption, I believe. And it was along the words of that.
Yeah.
Like I was going to redeem myself in some way. And I got to say, like, one of the ways that I think, and maybe it hasn't truly come true yet, but is by following this dream.
Yeah.
By having these conversations, doing interviews I wanted to do, and doing the podcast, things like that. But that was my way of redeeming myself, because for a long time there, I was like struggling with an inner battle of who am I?
Right. What do you want to do? What do you want to leave behind?
Exactly.
When we're no longer here.
And I talked a little bit about that in the first ever episode. And I said, I want, or maybe it was the second episode, I don't know. Here's a cat.
Skylar, you get down.
You're interrupting the story, pal.
Buddy.
Yeah, come on.
Behave yourself.
The great podcast. Anyway.
Nothing without a cat.
No, I wanted to be a police officer. That didn't work out. I wanted to join the military. That doesn't work out.
Right.
So I was facing also like a reason why I didn't end up doing this is because I don't want to leave my family behind either.
Yeah. Of course.
I wanted to give back to people. I wanted to be more. So when you did that reading and you said that, I was like, damn, I kind of know what that means.
I kind of know what you're talking about.
I kind of know what she's talking about.
And what's really, really cool about tarot is that it's all really up to interpretation, not only from the person reading the cards, but also the person being read too.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's like, I've in a lot of the readings that I've done for people have said that I've hit the nail on the head to like to even an exact detail, but it's never the intention to get as like fine line as that gets sometimes. It's all about like what I'm receiving from like the cards, what messages I'm like getting from people. And it's really cool to kind of see that unfold in a way that I'm not even expecting as the reader, to like have people respond to me and be like, you have like hit the nail on the head, even down to like, I don't want to put any of my like clients out there without obviously their permission, but there have been like several incidents where like I've picked up on something that wasn't even a part of the reading or what they were asking about, but it unfolds itself in the cards. And they're like, how did you like even pick up on that? That wasn't even part of what I was asking about. And so that's what's really cool about that aspect to me, is that there is like so much that you can like unravel from people's lives just by reading pictures, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have to ask you though.
Mm-hmm.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not too much, but I have to ask you.
I didn't bring any cards with me.
No. Damn it, no. I have to ask you.
Yes.
There has to be, and I know that there has to be that crowd that is like, this is complete sham. This is fake. There's no way it's real.
Oh yeah.
What's your response then?
I mean, I never want to kind of, I was about to say piss on people. Never wanted to like discredit other people's beliefs and stuff, but I mean, to me, it's not that different than praying.
Okay.
Because, you know, when people pray in like Christianity or whatever religion that they come from, they usually feel like they receive a message back from whatever higher entity that they're dealing with. Yeah. So for me, it's not that different. It's just that I'm not asking a question to a specific person. I'm more or less asking like the universe. So I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't change how I feel and what like I know about my craft per se. It just doesn't bother me anymore. Okay. It's like, you know, you're going to believe what you're going to believe. I'm going to believe what I'm going to believe. And as long as like you don't disrespect what I'm doing and you don't discredit what I'm doing, because it does help people in its own way, then I won't rip your head off about it.
Well, and also you kind of touched on the point that gave me an idea, which is I'm wondering if someone of faith, let's just pick Christianity.
Yeah.
If someone of faith came to you to do a reading, now you said that it's one of your meaning, but then it's also their meaning.
Yeah. On
the cards. Well, if someone of faith still sat down with you and did a reading, because people, we should be open-minded about everything.
We should be, but are we?
Well, but if you sat down and did it, like I did, you can apply that to anything, and even take it as, this is God giving me a sign, because that is a lot of what Christianity is
signs.
Is God giving you signs in life. So, and you know, sometimes you get those signs that you aren't expecting for, but I'll tell you what, when I went to your birthday party, I wasn't expecting to get a tarot reading.
Yeah.
And I sat down in front of people
that you didn't even know.
That I didn't know, and you gave it to me, and I'll tell you, it felt like in that moment,
like a sign.
Like a sign.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that that you hit the nail in the coffin, or
hit the nail on the head, and I put the nail in
hit
the coffin.
Nail in the coffin.
Stabbed it through.
Our dynamic is fantastic. I gotta.
It's because we're both Scorpios.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit more about. Well, I guess we can say it now, because this week's Spotlight TWS is Mykayla, her Etsy shop. It is Swamp Mama by Suess on Etsy. So explain a little bit of what that is. You do tarot readings.
I do tarot readings through Etsy, and basically what traditionally you do with the tarot reading is you meet with the person in person to do their reading, and it's you know, you sit down with them at a table. I really don't like to do readings in person because I get very flustered, especially when there are so many different variants of what cards can mean and stuff like that. It's just easier for me to like take notes and to kind of sit over the questions and just kind of figure out what the cards are trying to tell me. So I opened up an Etsy shop in 2020 during the pandemic, after so many people were just like, just do this. Like, we've gotten readings from you before. Like, this would be like a really good business adventure and just like a small business. So I opened that in 2020, and then I did tarot readings, I had a really successful year last year. I think I made over $2,000.
That's awesome.
Which, just for like, it's a side business. It's not like awesome. It's not even something that I do a whole lot. And then I really got into birth chart readings, and then I added birth chart readings to my shop as well. And that's definitely been like, I want to say, my most popular thing. I think I've sold out of it like a couple times already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So a lot of people are really into birth charts because of like TikTok and stuff now. It's becoming a trend. So that's what I offer on the shop. And I send out my readings through emails and stuff like that, through Google Docs. And I've had like a really good feedback from it of people kind of, again, like being like, how did you even pick this up? You haven't even like seen me in person. We haven't even met. Like, how did you figure this out?
Well,
Stuff
so
like that.
you did a lot of studies, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Like it's not like you just picked up a
No,
box.
no, no, no. I think I have been interested in like witchcraft, spiritual, metaphysical stuff. I think since, I don't even, as long as I can remember, when we were cleaning out our living room the other day, I actually found a little zodiac book from when I was like, that was the first book I ever bought on anything zodiac related, and I had all of these notes in like the margins of the pages and stuff, and it was very like, it gave me chills to like find that book. I didn't even know we still had it. It was in like a cupboard in our living room, and it just, to see like from where I was taking notes from when I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old all the way now to like 27, like see how far I've progressed and like all the knowledge that I've gained from just having something I was interested in because I thought it was a cool aesthetic, to making it kind of like a part of my everyday life and like what I do from day to day.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think one of the coolest things about the shop is that, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can have recurring customers.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a one and done.
Yeah.
So that is definitely, I like the idea of being able to
stay in contact.
Yeah.
And I a lot
and
of
build
my
a relationship.
yeah,
for sure.
a lot of my clients are like returning clients that I think I've had one person who's bought from me like 5 times just because she is in like such need of like a guidance and like someone to help her through like questions that she has, that she just returns to my shop. And she says all the time when I'm like talking to her, you know, you understand, you get what I'm going through, what I'm trying to figure out. And it's just, it's nice to kind of, I don't want to say like make a difference, because I'm just giving people answers that they kind of already know, but it's nice to be able to help people in a way that is not your average way of like changing someone's life.
Yeah. Well, when you help someone, you do make a difference.
Yeah.
So you definitely can say that you do.
Thank you.
No, I applaud you for following your dream and to continue and things like that. So
I spend a lot of money on my cars.
No, I guess this brings us into the next topic, and I guess this is going to be more of a deep. This is not really a deep conversation now, but it's going to be a little bit deeper, I guess, which is people versus Mykayla.
Supreme Court ruling.
And what I mean by that is you are such an amazing person.
Oh, thank you.
You're very unique.
Thank you.
In every way.
I know. I work really hard to be unique.
But that's the thing. You're always you.
Yeah.
In any situation, always you. We had the gender reveal. I watch that video all the time with Grayson because he loves that video.
Yeah.
And when I'm watching it, I'm getting ready to pop the balloon. And right before I get ready to pop the balloon, to see which gender he is, which my balloon didn't pop or didn't show the color.
Yeah.
You yell out before I even throw it. Watch, Carlos does not even pop. And I throw it. And like that's just you though. Like you are always yourself.
I'm crass. For the longest time I didn't want to be an extroverted person because I didn't feel extroverted. And then I think around like 24, I realized I was like, damn it. Like
this is me.
I'm an extroverted person. I like to be out and I like to be around people, even though I don't want to be.
But you know what? You always being yourself gives people such as myself who wanted to do a podcast, things like that, and how am I going to have people like me and all that other BS?
Yeah.
Like, And finally, I was just like, let me just be me. If
Who
someone
cares
doesn't
if
like,
someone doesn't like
if
you?
someone doesn't like what I'm saying, turn off the podcast.
Yeah, don't
turn off
listen
the
to
show.
it.
You know
Go
what I mean?
away. Go watch someone else's podcast.
No, I want you to stay.
Schmuck.
I want you
You
to
schmuck.
I do want you to stay. At least click it. Then leave. No.
At least get like halfway through, and then you can pop out.
Yeah. Just become one person.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, like I did think, man, I just got to be myself.
Yeah.
And I applied that to, like, I say all the time, like, Matt Boosted Apex told me to follow.
Yeah.
Just start. Just do it.
Start somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time you do it.
Mykayla from 4th and 1 podcast said, why don't you do a podcast?
Yeah.
That next step was, how do I
start? Yeah.
And it was,
is
that's
anyone
where
gonna
you
listen
came
to
in.
me and stuff like that? And it's like, who cares?
You just gotta be yourself.
If anyone listens to you, if you're doing it for you, these chairs. if nobody listens to you, it doesn't matter. As long as like you're doing it for yourself and you're having fun doing it, eventually the people will come through.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing it for yourself in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you're doing it just because you genuinely want to, not because you want to see anything come out of it, the people will follow. They always follow.
You're very inspirational.
Oh, thank you.
So what I mean when I say people versus you
Mm-hmm.
versus Mykayla, again, same thing with the tarot readings. There has to be people that when you dye your hair, when you get tattoos, get piercings, things like that, those are all external things, but then I guess they can apply I don't understand how they could. But then again, I'm very biased with it because I'm like a very dear friend of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Dear
you know how I am in like real
but
life.
There has to be those people that, like, do you see people giving you looks based on your appearance and things like that?
Absolutely. I feel like I definitely noticed it more now than I ever did before, just because I feel like now I receive a lot more attention than I do in general, because I don't want to be like, I'm popular in like Lancaster, but like I know a lot of people in Lancaster. I have a lot of friends in like Lancaster's music scene and stuff like that. So people just generally are more aware of who I am now, which I think is weird. I was at one of my friend's shows back in December, and someone came up to me in Harrisburg. Like that was the first time I've ever been to Harrisburg to actually like just enjoy Harrisburg. And someone came up to me when we were outside, and they were like, "Are you like Mykayla?" And I was like, "Well, there's a ton of people whose name is Mykayla. Like I am one of them, but like which one?" And she was like, "Well," and she said, "I follow you on Instagram. Like, is your last name Suess?" And like, I have never met this person before. I have no idea who they are. And I'm just like, yeah, like that's me. I don't. Who are you? Like it was kind of off-putting at first, and then it just kind of became like, oh, like people know, like I have a reputation. I don't know why. I don't do anything. It's not. I'm just here having fun, supporting my friends at their show.
You're being catfished. Someone's using your face.
Where's he? Like, coming with like a camera on their shoulder or something like that. But I've definitely seen a lot more positive outcome to it than I have seen negative. People just kind of being like, you've helped me kind of feel like it's okay to be myself and to do these things. And, I understand that having very visible tattoos, having like stretched ears, having face piercings, having like crazy colored hair and whatnot, even though I don't consider it crazy, it can be very off-putting for Lancaster County people who tend to lean more like conservatively with like their style and stuff like that. So like I haven't seen it a whole lot with people like our age. I have seen it a lot more with people who are like 35 and older, I want to say. I've been asked like, do you realize that people don't like that kind of stuff? Do you realize that like you're not going to get married because you have such like an off-putting appearance and stuff like that? I mean, it doesn't bother me. My thing is I mind my own business 85% of the time. So like it doesn't bother me because it doesn't matter to me what other people think of me. I have been like the weird kid my entire life. I was writing like fan fiction at like 9 years old, and that's when I learned I wanted to be like a writer, was because I started writing stories. And I was a bookworm, and I was kind of a weird kid growing up. And it gave me like thicker skin. I wasn't bullied throughout school because I was, again, one of those people that everybody got along with because I have such an adaptable personality. But nobody's really bothered me about it since I stopped caring about it. Like, it doesn't matter to me anymore.
So you gotta be your biggest fan of yourself.
Hello?
One of these seconds, this chair exploded.
Fall back, and the podcast will be over.
You have to be your biggest advocate and your biggest fan.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, you can't, like, if you try to expect someone else to, it's not going to make a difference.
How do you expect anyone to be there for you if you don't show up for yourself? And that sounds like such a cliche, and I hate cliches like that, but it really is true. Even if you don't have like a ton of positivity towards yourself, you should have neutrality.
Absolutely.
And you shouldn't, like, neutrality is different than negativity in the fact that, like, you can be okay with yourself. You don't have to be like the most positive person in the world. Being positive all the time is super toxic and not the way to go.
Well, you do have to realize and recognize when you do something wrong.
Exactly. You have to be
that's
accountable.
Where that neutrality is.
You have to be accountable 100%. But you also should be able to, like, be okay celebrating yourself when things go right. And I feel like a lot of people don't feel like it's okay to celebrate, like, the smaller things that they do in life, because I think as a society, if you're not producing something that has a benefit to more than one person, it's not okay for you to be okay with that. And I think that's where, like, a lot of people find themselves unhappy in life, is because that they're doing all of these things for other people, but they're not showing up for themselves. And that was something that I kind of, I don't want to say in my late 20s, because I don't want to, 27. It's something that I definitely started to realize over the years, is that you're only going to have yourself every single day of your life. And you kind of have to form a better relationship with yourself if you don't already have one, because at the end of the day, like, you wake up by yourself. Even if you're in bed with someone else, you wake up with yourself. Like, you're not waking up with someone else. So it's about
first thing you do when you wake up isn't start a conversation with someone.
No,
it's start that conversation with yourself.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people would benefit from showing up for themselves more and not worrying about keeping other people happy, which is definitely kind of the mentality that I've adapted over the years, is that I still care what people's expectations of me are. I'm doing things for myself because at some point I'm going to be on my own and I'm not going to have anyone else. I have to be okay with who I am, and I have to be okay with showing up for myself before I show up for anybody else.
I'm going to take the mic real quick, because I do want to just quickly say that if you're someone who is, and I don't expect this from hopefully my viewers, because if this is you, I really hope that you can help yourself to not to better yourself for this. Because the truth is this: if you look at someone, no matter what gender, and no matter what hair color, tattoos, piercings, anything, however it may be, if you look at someone and you're able to judge them based on just their appearance, or judge them based on not even knowing them,
you're the worst kind of person.
you need a wake up.
You need help.
You need a wake up call, because the issue with that, I can't even begin to say.
It's alienating.
It's
alienating.
It is truly sad that people that are able to look at someone else and say, I don't like them. By not even having a conversation, not even introducing them. And those are the people that really need a wake-up call, need to look in the mirror, and need to say, who am I? Because if that's someone that you're waking up with every single day, I'm telling you what, your life, even if you live to 105 years old, is going to be a short life. It's a short life that you're actually living.
It's going to be an empty life, because you're not going to form any meaningful connection with
anybody. And you miss out on some very good relationships and people. I mean, in high school, I was so open to everyone. I was so open to just being people's friends. And one thing that always hurt me was that
somebody not wanting to be your friend.
yeah. And it was based on my race. It was based on my name, or I mean something as simple as my height. I'll never forget that.
Oh, so sad.
Listen, short guy. It's like, wow. Like,
Oh, that's awful.
You're too short for me.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, but like when I was faced with that, I was like, man, that would hit me so deep.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Now I don't care.
Right.
Truly, I don't. If you don't like me, that's on you.
That's your
but
own fault.
The reality of it is come on now. Like, let's start being more human and not more hatred.
Hateful.
Hateful.
And I think it's also important to note that you're not gonna like every single person that you meet with.
No.
But if you never give them a chance to like know them and make the decision for yourself whether you like them or not, then you're just like you're not any better than the people who are bad when you get to know them.
Absolutely.
You're just alienating the whole process of getting to know someone.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break. I want to make sure that the camera's working. We've had a lot of technical difficulties, and this is not the last two episodes. This is not the episode for me. I'm not dealing with that shit. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will continue right after this. And we are back.
Woo!
So we're about halfway through the episode-ish. This is a new segment I want to try. So let me move this tiny mug that has nothing.
Throw it over your shoulder. Break it against the wall.
This new segment that I'm coming up with, that I thought of today, this damn chairs. The next segment is getting new chairs.
We're gonna do a vlog and go to like Lowe's or something and buy chairs.
I thought of actually today or yesterday was when I have people on the podcast, I want to do Pokemon openings, Pokemon card openings. So what I did was I asked Mykayla during the break. I got all these cards to pick a pack, and we're going to open it and see what cards we get.
Yep.
Obviously, at this point, if you're listening, we'll read it out to you. If you're watching, you're probably like, what the hell is this? What did I click on? But let me give you a little backstory.
He's a nerd.
I am a nerd at heart. A major nerd at heart. I have, whether you noticed this before or not, I have crazy amount of comics. This isn't even all of them.
We bought some of these together, I think.
Yeah, those Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
ones. And which those are actually my two most expensive ones. I just like collecting a lot of things. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so two of my Pokemon, or three rather,
are special.
These are graded Pokemon cards. And I actually found my original Pokemon cards. That's kind of what built this new Pokemon obsession.
Habit.
Yeah.
Hobby.
Obsession. To where I have now, like, this Charizard is graded.
Yeah.
Like, I have a Mew and a Mewtwo. If you don't know what Pokemon is, you probably don't care about it. But listen, maybe someday.
High class stuff
Pokemon
here.
Pokemon are like worth a lot of money for like, and maybe someday.
Oh,
I knew it was gonna happen.
Just listen.
Yeah, we're just gonna set these like this, and if you can't see them,
That's just too bad for you.
too bad for you. Maybe someday be a guest.
Please
So,
apply now.
We're gonna start with yours.
Okay.
Go ahead and open it up.
If I can.
So the easiest way I found to do it,
Is it there's like a special?
this middle piece here,
Does it lift up?
if you push this in and then pull it out, it'll open it. There you go.
Okay,
So
cool.
we'll open up yours first.
Okay.
So there should be, you can do the trick if you'd like. So the first card is always the online
QR code.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. So the trick that you can do so that you get the best card last is you do 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, to the front. This last card should be the best one.
Okay.
So the first one you got, if you want to show the camera, is
It's an
the
energy
leaf.
Or
Leaf
Leaf energy card,
Yep.
people. Pretty cool. We have. I'm like I can. Simisear. Is it Simisear?
Sure.
Simisear. It is a monkey fire type. It looks like. Giga Impact is its move and flare. If you've played any of the Pokemon.
You don't have to say moves and stuff like that, but.
And then we have Larion.
Okay.
Pretty cool metal type. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, metal type. Then we have an old PC. It is an item that you can collect, I guess.
That looks like my old computer.
Flip 2 coins. If both are heads, put a card from your discard pile into your hand. So I guess it's like a bring back sort of card. We have Melton.
Melton, okay. Now, the big thing I didn't say in this is I do, the reason why
I play with the cards?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The reason why I wanted my guest to open them is because I want you to be able to try to say the names and say what they are, because so many people don't know what Pokemon is, and I just find that hilarious. So,
I know, it's like, okay. Oh my god, so this is actually one of my favorites to get in the game. This is Marini.
Oh, no way!
I think this is probably the best card. She is a basic type Pokemon, but she has poison moves. And my favorite Pokemon are ghost types and poison types. I have a little Haunter plushie at my house. We have Parleon. She is a dark Pokemon type, I believe. Yes, a dark Pokemon.
So coming up here shortly, you should get the reverse, I believe.
Oh, I looked ahead. We have Starly.
Okay.
A bird type Pokemon, kind of looks like a little pigeon. And then we have Aeron.
Yep, okay. So now you're coming up to the reverse hollow, which is...
Sentret.
Okay, so
the squirrel.
Yeah, the squirrel looking guy. And then for your main card, it is...
It's a Charizard VMAX.
Get out of here! She pulled a Charizard VMAX!
Oh, and it's so cool.
These are worth money! Very nice!
Yeah!
Charizard has been pulled, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
That was not...
Honestly,
that was not anticipated.
It was not planned. I think I just bring good luck with me. So
wow.
You should get that graded.
That is awesome. A Charizard VMAX. Let me look at it.
Worth $5,000.
Centering is off a little bit.
Is it really?
A little bit.
They knew when
However,
they made that.
It's just a little off. Outside of that, edges look fantastic. So what I'm speaking of is the grades that they give you. Let me grab one of these. So the grading system. So centering, surface, corners, edges.
Yeah.
And they grade them up to a 10. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. Amazing.
She's fancy.
Cool. Good for you. Good for you. So Charizard has been pulled, ladies and gentlemen.
Unanticipated.
And I am going to put it in a sleeve.
Yes.
All right, so now I have to follow that up.
You should have gone first. You're probably not going to have like anything good.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow. Okay, so we have the fire energy. Pulpitar. Pokemon Breeders Nurturing.
You're going very fast.
Chinder. I don't even know how to say that.
You're very excited.
Clink. Marini. Torchic?
Torchic.
Starly. Skarmory. See, I don't know how to say most of them.
I call him Scare Me.
Look, another one. A reverse hollow. And then a Beartic, which is just a regular card.
I
you definitely had the better one.
I had the good deck.
Fantastic. Wow. So for the first ever Pokemon reading here on the Great Podcast.
We had a VMAX Charizard.
We had a VMAX Charizard.
Wow.
And Charizard has been pulled, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's going to bring this whole city.
I had to do that impression for those of you who were watching or listening. I had to do that impression of one of my favorite YouTubers, Lionheart. He does Pokemon opening readings.
Does he?
Yeah. He's an amazing YouTuber. He basically opens up, and when he pulls a Charizard, he will. Charizard has been pulled. Like just fantastic. So I had to imitate that, but that 100% is his credit. He is fantastic. So. That is a new segment that we will try to do with the guests if they'd like to do so.
Yeah. Otherwise, as long as they kind of like know Pokemon, otherwise it just might be weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I want them to do it anyway.
You invite Lorraine on the show. not gonna know anything.
Oh, look, a star. This thing's weird.
Why do you say this goddamn thing?
So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was I'm getting married.
Yes.
To your sister.
Yes.
In June.
Yes. And
You are.
I am the officiant.
You are the officiant.
I am
correct.
marrying.
So Mykayla is marrying her sister Adriana and I, June. Which I know to some people they're like, what?
Why would you do that? It's because I'm cool.
Because who else would marry us?
Yeah, I mean, I got ordained on your birthday like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't used it since, so.
No, but I mean, like, I couldn't think of anyone better.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, when her and I were deciding, should we just hire someone, things like that, I was like, why doesn't Mykayla just do it? And I think you offered already at that
I
point.
think I probably did.
And, like, I thought about it, I was like, seriously, like, this is a girl who introduced me to her family at a family reunion as the boyfriend of Adriana.
Yep.
I'll never forget that. I talked about that last episode.
Yes, I listened.
I can't get over that you pulled the charge on me. I keep staring at you. I'm sorry.
You're like, we're gonna cut the podcast short today.
No, but you introduced me to everyone as like.
Yeah, as
and
Adriana's sister.
one of my most embarrassing.
Well, you're
Plot twist. No, one of my most embarrassing moments, and I was like, oh my god. But then I was like, this is. Now I don't have to go around talking.
No, you don't have to talk to
everyone. Knows who I am. Like,
yeah, you don't have to introduce yourself to everybody.
So it was
I did you a
actually the best
favor.
way. Yeah, you did. We are movie buddies
For life.
For
Yeah.
life.
For life.
We have seen scary movies.
We've seen
countless.
a lot of Marvel together.
We've seen a lot of Marvel superhero. A lot.
DC.
We've seen DC. We're just movie people.
Yeah.
You and I both.
I love going to the movies.
Yeah.
I think it's such a fun experience.
I
It's expensive,
still.
but it's fun.
It is, but I still prefer that than Netflix.
Yeah,
Then.
absolutely.
No offense to Netflix, just in case you want to sponsor us in the future, which I don't see why they would. But like,
I mean, there's just such an experience.
I'm talking about all platforms.
Yeah, like I prefer going to the movies over like any streaming platform.
Now I couldn't go to the movies every night. Like,
No.
Me personally, I couldn't. So that's where the streaming platforms
Comes
are
in, it's
perfect
nice.
because
Yeah.
I do watch a show or something on streaming every
day. Yeah.
So they do win that category for me. But going to the movies has such an experience, especially opening night.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We saw Endgame.
We saw
Infinity War.
a lot of movies in
opening
IMAX.
night. We saw It Chapter 2 opening
night at Penn Cinema.
I think we saw
Regal.
It. How many times did we see It?
I think we
3
saw-
times?
I think we saw it twice
okay.
in theater, and then we've watched
Yes,
it a couple
yes.
of times.
So, one story I wanted to talk about on this episode that I talked about last episode that we were going to talk about was the experience of scary movies. I hate them.
I love scary movies.
I know you do.
I love
but
them.
I hate them. And when we first met, I didn't tell you I hated them.
Yeah.
Because
You just let me, like,
I was like, oh, Adriana's sister wants to hang out. Like, Mykayla? Hell yeah, she likes movies. Hell yeah, I'm down. Let's
I'll
go.
go see a scary movie with her.
And I was like, you know what? Grow up, Carlos. You have chest hair. Come on, man. Like, we got this. And like, I was like, how bad can they be?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a scary movie, no lie, since I was like 15.
Really?
Until this moment.
Really?
So we're talking about like 6, 7, 8 years later.
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, you poor thing.
So It comes out, and you're like, we gotta go see It. And I was like, okay, fine. And that wasn't the first one that we went to see scary movie wise. Here Comes a Cat. Maybe. Oh no, he's gonna be the camera guy for a second.
Domino, chill out.
So.
Here he comes.
Yep, here he comes. 3, 2, 1. Insert.
Domino.
So we went and saw the movie It together, and it like
Changed your life.
scared the shit out of me. But yeah, it changed my life. But scared, like, and so many people watch the movie. This is what pisses me off. So many people watch that movie and go, "Oh, that movie's not even that scary." The hell it's not. I sat there watching this movie.
I remember you like tucked your knees up to your chest like halfway through, and I'm just like.
I put my hood up and I'm holding the sides like.
Just like tucked in like in the fetal position in the middle of the theater. I'm just like, is he okay?
One of like.
I think
listen.
that was one of like the first times we hung out by ourselves too.
Yeah, but what I hated so much about that movie is that I loved the movie.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. The first one.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. The story was so fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Like the story captured me, and I was like, son, like this sucks because like
These kids are
I
getting
am
eaten.
so scared in these
Pennywise.
moments, but those kids are so funny. And
oh
like,
my gosh,
I
yeah.
worked on my Pennywise voice, like things like that. Like I thoroughly.
I got you a Pennywise like little stuffed toy.
Yeah, that I hang in my car. Like that does scare me when I go to work sometimes. But like I was like, you know what? I like It Chapter 2 came out. We ended up watching that movie, and like
It
when
was
I say
a bit of a letdown.
yeah. Well, we watched It Chapter 2, and that one, it was the build up.
Yeah.
Because they used different actors, and I mean the kids came back, but when
right.
they did show the kids, it felt more better.
Yes, and more better.
So, well, yeah, we can speak. But anyway, yeah, we go see all kinds of movies. We saw Marvel Infinity War together. Which
I think we've seen since they started the phase of Marvel that started with like Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
I think we've seen almost every single not every single Marvel movie that has come out together since.
Yep. And it's the one movie I haven't seen now. Switching it to DC, I haven't seen the new Batman, which you have.
It is phenomenal.
And you played the song, which is what we were thinking about when this episode started. We were like, man, should we sing a song? And then you ended up playing
the
Imperial March.
The new Batman theme.
Yeah.
Mashed up with the what is he doing over there? He's licking the flower.
Licking a leaf.
It's the Batman theme from 2022's Batman, mashed up with the Imperial March from Star Wars. And it is
so fantastic. She played it for me, and I said, you know, I would love to listen to this. However,
it will be demonetized.
I don't want to get this video demonetized because this is a big video for the Gray podcast. So, we are getting to that point of the episode where we typically call it almost an end.
Fight.
Yeah, where we stand on the table. No, I did want to just end on another, like just another story, and this will be our last thing that we talk about in this episode. But just another story of.
Tina, turn away. Oh, okay.
No. Oh heavens no. Of us getting a tattoo together.
Did we get tattooed? No. I was going to say, are you asking
me?
Are
we going to get a tattoo?
Yes.
Okay. So, you and I've gotten tattoos from the same
artist that I go to. Yes. Mallory Robb Tattoos. Yep. Plugging her real quick, even though this isn't my podcast. She is an amazing tattoo artist.
She really is. I have tattoos from her.
Yeah. She has done 90% of my tattoos. I adore her. I think she's such a good person.
She is fantastic.
She does great work. She's a great artist. She's light-handed, which a lot of tattoo artists aren't. So a lot of her tattoos don't hurt as bad as they would be coming from someone else.
Absolutely.
I've been going to her since I was 18 years old. So almost 10 years of getting tattooed by her.
Well, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She did my my band around my arm, and she also did the
like the detailing and everything.
Well,
like
she did
the rose, right?
No, my one on my wrist here,
yeah.
and then she did the triangle. The Holy Trinity on the center. So she's done 3 of my tattoos. When she did the band, I think it was like 5 o'clock or something like that. It was late to where we only had like an hour to do the tattoo.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Do you want me to try to do it all today?" I said, "If you think you can." She did the entire.
Oh yeah, she moves fast. She's
fast. And it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
It looked better than what
you had anticipated it.
Than someone doing it for 2-3 sessions.
Exactly. That's how I feel about a lot of her tattoos, is that it always turns out better than what you expect. And I have a lot of colored tattoos, and she is just great with like color blending and everything like that. I just think she is such a talented tattoo artist, and I am so like happy I followed her from the shop that she used to work at before she worked at Skin Tones.
Yeah. Well, so one tattoo I will be getting.
Is this the one that you're gonna ask me to get with you?
Well, it does relate to you in a way because it is your birthday.
Grayson's day.
It's
Grayson's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and my son share the same birthday,
Yeah.
obviously, which we said before. But I am going to be getting his birthday on me somewhere. Probably on my forehead.
Okay. That's fine. I think that's
But
good. That's solid. That's safe.
just so I never forget it.
It's like you already have a career that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. It's not like you have to worry about getting another job.
Yeah. No, I definitely I'm gonna be getting that. But I thought that you and I, since we are such big moviegoers, movie buddies for life, things like
Get
that.
a movie theater across your entire back.
We talked about wanting to get it tattoos.
Yeah.
For the movie.
Yeah.
I think we should consider doing that, something scary or something superhero related. So I know you have.
I have two monsters
You
on
have
the
two
back
monsters,
of my calves.
yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'd ever want to get anything like that, and that's kind of what
I
I'm
would
asking.
absolutely get Pennywise tattooed on me for sure.
So
He would fit right in.
So we'll definitely have to discuss that because I think because of our relationship, the way it is, that's something that's gonna live with me forever. Somehow.
Yeah, of course.
You know
What we could get is if we don't actually get Pennywise, a lot of popular things from like It tattoos that since they remade it was the loser.
Oh yeah.
The word loser
but
in black ink with the
V
V in red.
Yes.
That would be. I wanted to get that for a while too. Yeah.
I could get that on my forehead.
Maybe we should get these chairs tattooed.
No.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
No, I do want to just thank you again so much for coming on the podcast.
I'm very honored to be
for being the first
guest. I mean, I think this is a good precedent of how every other interview is going to go. It's going to be a shit show most of the time. At least if it's a good interview, I should say. I don't want to boast or anything, but I think
it's a good one. I think it is. I think you did fantastic.
I think it'll be fun.
You exceeded my expectations, and the cats are obviously
the domino, the Skylar.
The dog's not here this time because she tried to fight me last episode, and I said I'm not doing
she's
that.
out back in the grave right now because Carlos suplexed her. Just kidding. We don't condone animal cruelty on the podcast.
Oh, but any last thoughts? Any last comments? Things like that?
I'm pretty excited to see where this goes for you. I think it's gonna be something that is fun. I think it's gonna be a nice hobby that will maybe hopefully kind of turn into a more lucrative sort of business. I'm waiting for merch to come out so I can buy it.
I know. I tried this damn mug.
It's a lot. It's very tiny.
Yeah. And now someone else is seeing it in person. It's super.
It's tiny.
It said 12 ounces. I was like, there's no way.
This is probably like 12 ounces.
Yeah. I mean.
It's like. It's tiny. Like this is a cup for Grayson.
Exactly. That's what I said.
It's a baby cup.
So, an idea. Let me run this by you real quick. I know we were just getting ready.
Yeah.
But let me run it by you. An idea that I wanted to do on this podcast. Two things.
Yes.
One, I want to interview. I want to have a very serious interview.
With who?
I don't know.
Please don't say Tina.
No.
Because Tina will say no.
No, she'll rip me. She'll rip me.
She'd be like, don't you have anything better to do?
I respect her way too much. No, I want to have a really serious conversation.
Yeah.
And if possible, with someone who thinks opposite
Of me.
and then maybe bringing you back
Okay.
and having both of you.
Yeah.
But I need to find someone that I like for one.
That like has
And
enough opposite
it
of
would be
you and
great
me.
if they have a relationship with you as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to make it awkward for you. We do something where it is, two different
viewpoints
ideas.
of stuff like that. Yeah.
And it's something you and I can discuss more and more. And if we need to, we can cut this whole section out.
Yeah.
But
No shame.
yeah, it's definitely just an idea. Also, the second idea, which is going to happen. One, I got a new camera, so we're not going to have to deal with not this episode, the next episode.
The next episode will be high quality definition.
But I'm getting married.
Yes.
Again, that weekend that I'm getting married, the next following Thursday is episode 20.
Yes.
So I'm announcing this 15 weeks ahead of time. We are going to be doing a destination podcast in South Carolina. So that is happening. Big news.
Woohoo! Surprise!
Destination podcast for my wedding, either the day before or day after of my wedding, is going to be held in South Carolina. And I'm going to have, you will be back on the podcast. Hopefully Adriana is feeling up to it. She'll be on.
I think Grayson should be.
I'm going to introduce my son Grayson,
Interview
special
Grayson.
guest. Maybe Matt will be on,
Yeah.
Melissa, any other friends, things like that. Maybe my parents. Who knows?
These chairs.
We'll take them all the way down to South Carolina. So that's going to be a very big episode as well. So you will see the return of Mykayla in episode 20.
I'm coming back with a vengeance.
So you're gonna wear a mask.
I'm gonna be in a Michael Myers mask. I'm gonna marry them in a Michael Myers mask and like a nice, pretty, like formal jumpsuit. I'm just a Michael Myers mask.
So definitely make sure you mark your calendars for obviously every episode, but big episode after this one is going to be episode 20. I'm gonna try to do interviews every 5 episodes.
If
We'll
only
see.
you weren't getting married. If you're getting married on 420 and you had episode 20 on 420, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't. 420 doesn't mean anything special to anybody though.
No.
420 is just a cool day.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Tina. Hi, Lorraine. I didn't swear too much on this episode, I think.
No, you did good. You did good.
I monitored myself.
All right, well, this is going to wrap up episode 5, the much-awaited episode. So I do want to thank you for listening, for viewing, for watching. Please, if you haven't already, follow, like us on anchor.fm. It goes such a long way. Anchor.fm/The Great Podcast. You can view us on YouTube. Listen, my YouTube doesn't have enough followers yet. We get enough views. It's awesome. But it doesn't have enough followers, so I'm not allowed to edit the URL yet. So
Lorraine, subscribe on YouTube because I think you might be one of them who's just watching and not subscribing.
But it's like the URL is just like
It's just a bunch of words.
Yeah.
Like letters.
Until you hit like a certain amount of followers, then you can
How many? I wonder.
I forget. It might be like
Subscribe.
50 or 100. So subscribe, like, and
Share.
'cause
Comment.
that goes a long way.
Post.
And also follow us on Instagram at the Gray Podcast, at the Gray.podcast on Instagram. I do post videos and things like that.
I just
So.
gave the most awkward smile to the camera. I was like,
Again, thank you so much for viewing, for listening, and have a great weekend.
bye.